if you come with $100,000, but you don't want to follow our process, you're not a good fit. I won't take it, right?
What's harder than winning a $100,000 contract? Having the discipline to say no. Welcome to the final part of my conversation with Jesus. In this segment, we're talking about the evolution of a business owner. Jesus shares why he's become radically critical about who he works with, even when there's six figures on the table. We're diving into the importance of qualification, protecting your team from a bad fit, projects, and how his intake process has shifted from selling to anyone to finding the perfect partners for low code. If you've ever taken on a client that became a problem instead of a partnership, this one is for you.
Maybe you did something in an old way and you've done a new way. Like, what are some of the big things that you're like, that are just different than they used to be for the business?
Right. So I would say at this stage, at this size, now we need middle managers, right? So back in the day, it's just like me and everybody under me. I don't see it in that way.
No.
And then now, like, for example, we have developers that I have not interviewed, right? Someone else did. And it's like, at the same time, it's not necessarily frustrating, but it's weird for me to employ someone that I haven't had the chance to even speak. So now we have to develop, and something that we do like here, Locate is developing, because we've grown so much in 5 years from 1 to 40, that we try to give our team members who perform all of the resources, the training, etc., to, if they want to, become managers, grow and become managers. So developing that middle management, that leadership team, is something like critical, because then it's on them to pass the culture, the values, the mission, right? It's no longer on me. Like, I speak to the team once a month. Previously, I was speaking individually with everybody up until we were like 15, right? And then I kind of lost track. So that is a big challenge that completely disrupts how you grow and how you run your business, how you develop people. Like HR stuff takes so much time, right? It takes so much effort. You don't want to hire a bad apple that affects everybody else. So that is something very critical that I have not been able to get myself out of. Even though I don't enjoy the HR part, it's so important. Like, the culture is the most important thing for me at low code, that I have to be there. So that is one thing. And then, the other thing, which is like every single business and agency, how do we get better clients? How do we get more qualified clients who make sense for us, right? Today, especially this year, we have been refining who we want to work with. So becoming a lot more critical and be like, if you come with $100,000, but you don't want to follow our process, you're not a good fit. I won't take it, right? And then as I've done sales myself, I'm only like $100,000. Right? But now I'm being very strict with myself, because at the end that affects everybody: the project manager, the timeline, the budget, the developers. They get frustrated. It's a problem for everyone. So being a lot more strict with myself in terms of who do we work with, who's a good fit for us. So we do qualify, for example, now, instead of booking a call directly with us, people have to fill in the form. They reach out. We have a brief email conversation. If they're a good fit, then we jump on a call. So previously it was more like, whatever comes your way, let's have a call, and probably I want to sell something to you. Now we want to be more critical, because at the end we do a much, much, much better job when our client is the right fit for low code.
Yeah, that's really good. Because like you want to work with people that you can work with. You don't want another problem, in a sense. And so one thing that I like to show business owners, especially at that stage of like kind of growth, where you're actually you're taking on a new role. Like you said, when we hit that 15 member mark, like, okay, maybe I'm not a team lead, maybe I'm not a developer. Oh, I'm doing something different now. And that's one of the spaces that I like to work in, because a lot of people, I've been there, where it's like, wait, this isn't what I was doing. Like, this is a new skill set. So often companies will just like, oh, you're really good at this. Like, let's hire you. Now you go lead people. It's not the same thing. No. And one of my frameworks.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we do have people, especially on the developer side, who are like, dude, you're amazing. Like, you should become a manager. And the smart ones say no.
Nice.
I'm not a
Yes.
manager. I'm not built for being a manager. I don't want to handle people. I want
Mm,
to be a developer, sitting in my computer, building stuff 8 hours a day. Perfect. You'll
oh,
be a great
that's
developer.
great.
You'll be a senior developer here. You'll make good money, but it's not the same. And we've seen a lot of failures of people stepping up to manager role. And they're not
Yeah.
built for that, and they end up being fired, leaving, whatever, because it's
Right.
not for them. It's two different things. As a
Yeah.
founder, you got to do it all, right? And then
Right.
you end up hiring at a certain stage at our size. I'm lucky enough to be able to hire for things that I don't want to do.
Right.
But there are
Yes.
some very critical things that I got to do a lot of.
Yes. Yes. And so even in that, like one of the things that I teach leaders and owners is I call it the replicate what works framework. And so the four steps are you educate. So like you as the owner, the founder, whatever, you've educated, you've learned this thing, and then you template. So you create kind of the structure. This is how I've been doing it. And then you
Mm-hmm,
delegate. And delegation
mm-hmm,
is more about trust than
mm-hmm.
about giving somebody work to do. It's like, okay, this is what I've been doing. I'm going to trust you to do it. And the thing that I love to show people this is let me show you how you can 5x your time. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, if you make a template, you educate, you template, and then you now have this thing, you could hand it to 5 people and expect that they do 60 to 80% good enough.
Yes.
Okay. Then you come in and you finish the 20%. Oh, wait. So, okay, I only did 100% of work, but 500% of the work got done. Mm. It's a trust thing. It's not a go, I'm just giving my work to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you with this thing that I've created. And I chose the word replicate because duplicate is like copy paste, copy paste.
Mm-hmm.
But replicate has this kind of like feel of, okay, here you go. Oh, you made it better. Let's tweak it. Now it's something new where it's not just the same thing over and over, but it gets better over time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I'm not a designer. I'm not like, but if I create something and it works and then I give it to someone else, they make it better. Like, oh, let's do that again. Let's do
Yeah.
it your way again. And then the last step is to automate, where you take the boring, the repetitive, the mundane, and you remove that from the people so that people can work at a higher level. Um, but anyways, when you're talking like the replicate what works concept comes there because as you're stepping kind of into these new roles, if you don't do that, you then just add on another job to your current job,
Yes.
and that's
Exactly.
burnout. Um, yeah.
Yeah, building these
Anyway,
processes is critical. The automate step, which you said last, is also very important because
mhm,
these menial tasks that are boring for everyone
yeah,
are the ones that are more error prone. So people make the
yes.
most mistakes, for example, when copy pasting data, right?
Oh my gosh,
And
yeah,
so the automation process is not only about automating something stupid, but errors go down to almost
yes,
zero, right? So
right.
there's like two value adds of removing stupid things from your day to day and reducing errors in the process.
Yes, I was working with I had a buddy. He built this ginormous Google spreadsheet before they had big tables, and he's like, "Man, like I found all these errors." Well, it turns out he was using, and this is going to be a little technical. He was using data validation, but he had ghost spaces. Like people could go in and just type whatever they wanted, and then when he all his formulas like, oh, there was an extra space at the end, or they didn't like they didn't do this one thing, and it's like, yeah, so to automate and to just make things consistent makes things like usable.
Yes.
It's such a vital lesson. Taking on the wrong client doesn't just hurt your schedule, it frustrates your developers, blows your budget, and creates friction for everyone. Protecting your process is how you protect your freedom. That wraps up the 3-part series with Jesus. We've gone from $300 weekend fixes to Fortune 500 integrations and the discipline it takes to scale an agency to 15 members and beyond. If you're ready to stop the duct tape fixes and start building the systems that allow your business and your team to breathe, head over to follow.simplifywork.io and let's design freedom for you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.